Awesome, Molnar. Welcome to University of Toronto's Get Hired Fair. We're so glad that you and your team can be here on campus with us in Mississauga to connect with all of our students. Welcome.
Thank you so much. We are so happy to be here.
This is your first time on campus, so how does it feel so far engaging with our students?
Honestly, so far very impressed.
Good.
It's our first time at the career fair, but we actually were here in the fall to talk to do an information session.
Oh, great.
For some of the forensic student, the group. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Forensic science students.
Yes, which was also excellent. Great engagement.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So we thought we'd talk to you about some career development related questions.
Cool.
And I thought I'd kick it off by asking you about students and how can students stand out at career fairs when they come to meet you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So honestly, one thing that really makes people stand out is when they come to the booth, they are making eye contact with us. They come up very confident. They know what our booth is about already. So maybe they actually have looked at, even just our signage. They see what we're hiring for. And if they're interested in policing, they've actually done some research into already on their own what kind of requirements that needs. As soon as someone comes up and is confident and introduces themselves and then starts talking about, I already know that I need to get my first aid and my CPRC certification, right away I'm like, okay, this person is actually keyed in here and they've done some research, rather than people who walk up, don't really say anything to us, just kind of stand there not talking, and then just say, what is this about? Sure, I'll do this.
You love those interactions, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming active listening is also something that might be super important for the kind of role that you play on a day-to-day basis as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? In policing, we have to have conversations with people we don't know every day. So seeing someone come up and talk to me and they don't know me and have that confidence right away is just something that's really standing out.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Is there any specific kind of technology or ways of engaging with applicants when they're applying to the police force?
Yeah, so our service uses social media to do a lot of engagement with people who want to be police officers. So we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, X, Facebook. And then we also, so anybody can connect with our LinkedIn profile, but also my partner and I, Pete Reynolds, we're the outreach team for the service. So people can connect directly with us on LinkedIn. And then I have a lot of conversations over LinkedIn messages, people who are looking to get into the field and wanting to know more information about what they should be doing or even how they should be going about applying.
I'm going to add an extra question there because I didn't realize that there's a lot of connections through LinkedIn. How important is it for a student to have a standout LinkedIn profile to you?
Honestly, not important.
Not important.
For them, it's for them to be able to access information, not so much for us to look at them. But I will say that actually last year, I made a connection with somebody from LinkedIn who was from up north.
Yes.
And we ended up hiring him.
Okay,
and
great.
Purely the connection was based over LinkedIn, which was actually kind of funny.
So based on that, what advice would you give to students who are trying to break into this industry? And I specifically say that because when we think about police officers who protect all of us, it's a very service-based industry, but in a different capacity altogether. So do you want to talk a little bit about that and help us understand what that looks like?
So there's a couple things that will make somebody really stand out competitively when they apply to us. One of them is having a post-secondary education. If you look at our minimum requirements, you don't have to have that. However, you are going to stand out if you have done some kind of college or university. And the unique thing about policing is that it doesn't have to be in a specific field. You could literally have a degree in anything you were interested in. So I can speak about myself. So I went to the University of Waterloo and I took a theater and music double major. Something that you would never think is related to policing. However, I didn't decide to be a police officer until a few years after I had graduated university, and there's definitely skills that I learned in doing my degree that I could transfer into policing. So post-secondary education in any field is amazing. volunteering, showing us that you have a commitment to serving the community is another thing that we really encourage potential applicants to start doing now, not waiting until they're ready to apply, because that's not really showing a commitment if you've waited right till you want to apply. Another thing that if you're thinking about getting into policing that you want to make sure you're focusing on is your physical fitness. So our physical fitness testing is not easy, right? Of course, the nature of the job.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you can pass the shuttle run to a level 7. So just maintaining physical fitness throughout your application and into your career, just because that is an important thing.
It's a requirement.
Yes, for sure, going through. And then the last thing I would say, I always tell people who are looking to apply, soon or in the future, is to make sure that they know about the competencies that we're looking for in officers. We have 2 different sets, developmental competencies and essential competencies. And they have to be able to demonstrate to us that they have those competencies, and that is all kind of explored in the interview process with real life examples of them demonstrating those competencies in situations they've been involved with.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for helping us
No problem.
understand that a little bit further. So as you alluded to, you were at University of Waterloo, so you were once in the same shoes as students and new grads that are meeting with you today. What advice would you give to those who may be feeling discouraged during their job search?
Yeah, you know what? So in my role, I talk to basically almost everybody who applies to our service for the police position. And certainly not everybody is successful during that application process. So I actually do talk to a lot of people when they have been unsuccessful at certain stages. And I just tell them, this is a hard process to go through. Just because you're unsuccessful at, say, the first interview stage doesn't mean you're never going to be a police officer. It just means that you need some more time. You need some more time to get some life experience to develop those competencies that we're looking for, so that you can come into the next time you apply in that interview just better prepared. So never to be discouraged. We have officers who took 8 times trying to get into the service. If this is really your passion and what you want to do, then you just have to do some after an interview process, if you're not successful, just do a little bit of a self-assessment, self-reflection about how the interview went, where you may have gone wrong, what you need to develop for your own self before you actually put in your next application, and just to never give up.
I feel like you're spot on, because applying to find an opportunity is a job in itself.
Oh yeah.
and that self-reflection and the resilience to bounce back, because let's face it, not everybody's going to respond kind of like what you do, Constable. So thank you so much for helping us understand that, and to the students, encouraging them to think about the Waterloo Police Services. And once again, welcome to the campus. We're so glad that you're here today.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing how the engagement goes throughout the day.
Awesome.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.